Another one on the tube jig. Oh, shoot! Oh, my rod. Oh, son of a gun. Hey everybody, welcome back to Live to Fish, and as you well know, out on legendary Lake St. Clair, one of the baits of choice for everyone out there catching smallmouth is the tube. But if you're not an angler in the Midwest or the northern states and you think that the tube isn't for you, you might want to rethink that. I'm going to show you why you should be throwing the tube no matter where you're at and regardless of what species you're targeting, because I'll tell you what, the tube catches everything from smallmouth to largemouth to walleye to the elusive muskie. So we're going to go over why tubes could make you a more successful angler, and that's coming up right here, only here on Live to Fish. As the title suggests, this episode is all about the tube. Why the tube is not just successful up here in the Midwest and North, but it could be successful for you in the South as well. But first, I want to say a very special thank you to all the new subscribers. The channel's been blowing up lately, and I really appreciate your support. If you're not yet a subscriber, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell to let you know when Live to Fish puts out new videos. This is a pretty major food source for the bass here on Anchor Bay and Lake St. Clair in general. Now that clip right there was part of the archives from when I was doing some episodes on what the bass were munching on Lake St. Clair and on Anchor Bay. And I'm going to leave a link to those videos so you can get caught up. They'll be in the video description down below. But you may be wondering why I'm showing you a craw when we're talking about tubes. And we all know about the bazillion craw imitators out there on the market that when they're rigged, imitate a crawdad or crawfish in the defensive position with the claws up. But what you might not realize is that the tube is an excellent imitator of the craw as it's diving through the water and foraging. And that's the main reason that dragging tubes and cracking tubes makes them so successful. And if you've ever cast a tube right off the side of the boat, you've watched as it spins in a spiral down. So if you've ever watched the tube fall underwater, this is going to look very familiar to you. Here's a craw getting dropped into a tank. Look at that action. Look at it in slow motion, just like the tube. And these are a primary food source for bass and other fish. So let's take a look at some of the most common sizes of the tubes that are available. You have it in 3-inch, 3 3/4 inch, and 4-inch. Now you can also get on the spectrum the micro and also ones that are larger than 4 inches.
That's what she said.
So these are very versatile. You can go for the smaller size and even the micro for panfish, or you can go for the normal sizes and the larger sizes for other fish. Now, while there's a lot of different ways to rig a tube, the tube jig is the one that I prefer the most, and only because it gives that action that I showed you with the craw. Now, in future videos, I'm going to get into other ways how to rig it, but for now, we're going to talk about the tube jig and what the action does. These here are a 1/4 ounce, and again, you can kind of notice that the hooks are a little bit different. One is a little bit lighter weight hook. One is a little bit more stout. And there's also various weights that have the eyelet in different spots on that keel weight, so the action's a little bit different. But let's get into how to rig it. I like to pre-rig mine on the tube jig before tying it onto the line, and all you have to do is just take this end here with the eyelet that you're going to tie onto your line. Got to move the tentacles out of the way a little bit. Push that all the way through. Make sure the hook's exposed. And then pinch the top, but you got to tear the plastic a little bit here, and that exposes the eyelet for tying on. Now, if you've already tied your tube jig onto your line, there's an alternative method, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Basically, take the tube, make sure that you poke through with the hook side where the eyelet's going to come out, and just go ahead and thread that through, making sure you're not poking that hook right through the back and the body of the tube. Make sure it comes out the end there. Bring it through, and here's where you're going to want to make sure you don't tear the plastic. Just kind of be real careful with it. You can wet it down, and that helps stretch that plastic out a little bit. But there you have it. Rigging the tube on a tube jig. So if you fish Lake St. Clair or you're coming up here to fish it, this is just one of many in a series of videos that I have on how to make you a better angler out there on Lake St. Clair. But that sure doesn't mean that they won't work on the lakes where you live, so definitely give them a try. Now, while I'm blessed to live in such a great location here on Lake St. Clair, I know a lot of you have to travel to get to this legendary lake. So that's why I put out a lot of informational videos to make sure that your trip to Lake St. Clair is successful. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button, make sure you smash that like, and leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you're heading to Lake St. Clair anytime soon. And if you are, don't forget about the Totally Hooked Lake House. It's located right on Anchor Bay, right on the water, so you have quick access to one of the best fisheries in the world, Lake St. Clair. So again, thank you all for the support, and until next time, be safe, be well, and as always, live to fish. Take care, everybody.